Well, welcome to Hashtag Sports. I'm Adam White with Front Office Sports, and we're here with Sara Slane, the Senior Vice President of Public Affairs for the AGA. Sara, thanks for joining us. Now, sports betting, it's a hot topic right now. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants to get involved with it. From the AGA's perspective, what are you guys trying to do to help these leagues, these properties, these teams navigate this water alongside of the people who are writing the legislation?
Yep. I would say, obviously, there is a huge amount of education that has to occur about our industry, how we're regulated, that we want to be partners with the leagues, that we support the notion of strengthening integrity that is paramount to our business. So really talking about the business of sports as well. Nevada has been up and running with sports betting for 50 years. I think there's a huge knowledge gap in exactly how that model works, and that it really is a low margins business, that this isn't going to be the panacea for the casino industry. So making sure that legislation that's put in place really does take the consumer in mind.
Yeah, and now we see a lot of the success of the sports betting industry, especially in Europe. And in terms of what these properties are asking for you, are you kind of pointing to like, hey, look, this is kind of how the model works? Because they are very legislated and they have a lot of different partnerships with, I'm assuming, their version of the AGA. So are you guys looking over and saying, like, this is what we can basically build together?
Yeah, exactly. So looking around the world to other successful sports betting markets like the UK, like what's happened in learning from lessons that have happened in Australia, in addition to the fact that, like I said, we've had Nevada here for 50 years up and running. Nevada has worked in partnership with the leagues, with gaming regulators to promote integrity. So again, taking the best lessons learned, applying them to what legislators are contemplating in other states, and making sure that the consumer is kept in mind and that we're shutting down the illegal market.
Yeah, and now in terms of questions, what are some of the questions you're getting from these people? Like that okay, here we go, I'm going to get this question again. What's been the hottest question that you guys have had to answer as a team?
Yeah, I think that in general, a lot about where do consumers want to bet, and there's obviously some that happens in brick and mortar, but majority of the betting right now in Nevada is taking place on a mobile platform. So about 60% of the bets are taking place on that platform. So making sure that legislators understand that the traditional sort of sports book that you see in Las Vegas is certainly one form where consumers want to participate, but where you're seeing more action is on the mobile platform and how that works. Because it is going to be limited to a state-by-state basis, there's also a lot of technology that exists to make sure that that happens, like geolocation services, where they're able to detect when bets go outside of Nevada and they shut down the service. So again, a lot of educating that has to happen. And again, this isn't a huge revenue opportunity for the casino. It's only 2% of all the gross gaming revenue that you see in the state of Nevada. So it is a very small part of the casino industry, albeit an important one.
Yeah, and now when it comes to the sports books and the growth, what do you think are going to be the major hurdles in terms of getting past, whether it be legislation, whether it be education? What are those major hurdles that these states face and that these teams may face internally or even externally?
Yeah, I think there is an irrational sort of exuberance around the revenue opportunity for states. So you may see these tax rates that are just completely unsustainable, that are not going to attract businesses or competitors to want to be in the space because they just can't operate in a way that would be profitable to them. So really, again, educating them about the business of sports betting, that it is a low margins business, and again, doing all the things that we can do to attract the consumer from the illegal market onto the legal regulated market is going to be a challenge, and you're going to have the right policy in place in order to do that.
And what, in your opinion, 5 years, what does sports betting look like in the U.S.? Is it all 50 states? Is it still some people lagging behind? Is it still people asking questions? What do you think it's going to be that?
Yeah, I think there's going to be definitely a little bit of a learning curve. So we already have 3 states that are up and running, primarily in the brick and mortar space, but they're going to start moving into the online space. You'll see another 5 states probably this year, maybe early next year in 2019, that are able to offer a mobile platform product as well. And then I think progressively you'll see more states next year come online. So it's not going to be perfect, certainly. It's going to be a slower process to really getting to what the industry is going to want to see. But again, I think all good lessons will be learned and we'll perfect it. And then at some point in time, you're going to see a little bit more of the in-play betting that's going to be taking place, which will be really exciting, I think, for sports and for our industry as well.
Do you think that's the largest opportunity in terms of overall sports betting, is the in-play betting?
I do, and that's where you've seen the shift now in the UK, where 70% of the bets that are taking place are happening during the game. And the fan avidity that comes with that, with the viewership and the increased eyeballs and the longer amount of time that's taking place. So I do think that that is the biggest opportunity before us, but it's going to take a while to perfect it. And it's certainly going to take a while to perfect it around sports that haven't traditionally had in-play betting, like hockey or baseball. So a lot of product innovation that can occur in that space as well.